Okie dokie, here we are on Game 5. It's Entombed Valley. This is a map that Marine King is very, very fond of. Major, maybe Major's fond of it as well. I don't know. I'm sure he's watched Marine King's games on these on this map, so we'll see what he's got in store for HyuN here. He is in the top right of Entombed Valley's that red Terran right there, and his opponent, TSL.HyuN, the Blue Zerg, our current Fight Club champion. As we just mentioned, knocked off Squirtle last week and is probably going to try and start his own reign of tyranny, like try and break that 3 streak that no one seems to manage to be able to get. Hero, Chef, and Squirtle all tied for 3 kills so far, and I'm actually just really surprised by that, because in any sort of King of the Hill format like this, you're going to get that one person that goes on the crazy long streak, and we just haven't had it.
Like you mentioned, this is number 29. I mean, we thought, and think of some of the players we've had as well, from MC and other. We had GSL. Yeah, I was about to say we've had GSL champions that have been part of this. We had Jockji, who was here for a while. We had Tasia. I mean, it's and no one has done the trick.
That's right. Dongre Gu is still waiting in the wings. I feel like MMA could have a possible shot at it. MVP, Nesties there. So there are still some players out there that could come in and just win Fight Club for the rest of eternity, but we haven't run into it yet. So that's actually a pretty cool facet of StarCraft 2, that we've got you know, no perfect players out there at the moment.
And we've had several of the guys I've mentioned, the threads, the live report threads, the Reddit threads, have all said, oh, you might as well shut down Fight Club for a while because this guy's going to win for the next couple of months, and it's just not happened. So, and I'm kind of glad it's not. So.
Yeah, but we actually, some people might not even remember this, but a while ago we had Team Arena before Team Arena Challenge, and that basically got undone by Slayers, because
that's right.
That was a collection of extremely good players, not just like one player with some vulnerabilities. That was just, they were just so incredibly good at the time. There was no one that they were going to lose to. So Team Arena Challenge was born, maybe not as a direct result of that, but it was getting a little stale when we had no one to match up against Slayers. But
I'm kind of hoping, though, that we do get to a point where there's one player in Fight Club who just destroys for like 8 weeks in a row, and then it's a big event whenever someone finally knocks him down and collects like $1,300 in prizes for one best of 9. And that's actually a pretty good segue. You mentioned Team Arena into IPTL, which is actually going to launch tomorrow. We'll start with our amateur division. Amateur division, of course, is going to determine who makes it into the next division up. There'll be a bracket there, and up and down matches will be played between them and the top division, which is going to be the premier division, which will start momentarily. It's the top 8 teams from Team Arena Challenge 3 to begin with, and we'll see after that what these guys are going to offer. And HyuN may not want to make things very quick or very long in this game, though, putting down that Roach Warren early.
He's going that conservative 1 base now. He's got 2 bases, so it's okay. He can make some Roach Warrens. It's all right. He can make as many Roach Warrens as he wants. You know, 6 or 7 is where I usually like to draw the line. But,
of course, yeah.
You know, we'll see how many he ends up making. Factory coming up for Major, probably for those Hellions that we've seen time and time again. Probably going to be working his way to a quick Banshee play again. I don't really doubt any of that at this point, because, like I said, Major likes to latch on to those strategies and play them as hard as he can, and then if it doesn't work out, he just drops, and uses Hellion run-bys and stuff like that until he either starves out his opponent or loses. So we'll see if he continues with the, I mean, he is going to do the Reactor Hellion, I'm sure, here, and get those buildings swapped around, and there's the starport. So really think that's going to be the ticket for him.
Wow.
Just trying to perfect, build upon that TVZ strategy that I'm sure he's played just hundreds of times now. And try to get that going here on Entombed Valley.
And so Major's going to make his way in at almost the perfect time and sees the Roaches up. So we'll see how he wants to defend. Yeah, already building that bunker inside of his main. Cancels the one up at the front. We actually saw him do this before. We actually just went ahead and lifted the orbital command right away.
Yep, he doesn't need to do that. He just called down some mules, so probably going to be waiting until an opportune moment to do that. But I like this better. Bunker on the high ground, it seems like a couple of the previous games he had them on the low ground and they were just kind of forfeit, and it didn't really do a whole lot for him. Antigua Shipyard, that game just didn't really pan out so great. But
wow.
Yeah, Banshee, Cloak Banshee again. Like I said, man, he just plays those strategies as much as he possibly can.
It was even that he delayed for 10 seconds to put up a Banshee so we could get Cloak out first, which is a very risky decision. Okay, SCV's trying to repair up the supply depot, but 3 of them have already fallen. 1 Roach has gone down now. The supply depot continues to be repaired up. The Hellions are making their way across the map so they can try and do a little bit of counterattacking here and some economic damage, and we'll see if Major has enough to defend.
I'm a little bit scared. I mean, the SCVs have been whittled down. He's lost around 5 already, and doesn't look like the same number of drones are getting killed off. Those Hellions not being as effective as some of his previous games, and he's on the ropes here at the front. Almost all the SCVs have been pulled now to try and keep that repair up, but the Roach count has been whittled down a little bit by those Marines, and now that the Banshee's out, he can probably try to finish those up. Don't think they're going to be able to really do much to that orbital. They're probably just going to try to scurry away, but there's really nothing stopping that Banshee from just chasing them down and killing all of them. Yeah, 15 workers killed in that attack at the front, and the Roaches, their lives are basically forfeit. The Banshee's going to catch them, so he might as well just attack whatever's there.
And he did so. He picked off a couple additional workers, so that's about all he could hope to accomplish. But he's now double the workers of his opponent. He's on a 3rd base. Things are looking pretty good for HyuN at the moment. He just now has to defend against these Banshees making the way out.
Does
he have an Evolution Chamber? Yes, he does.
I was going to say he saw the Banshee, obviously, over at Major's base, had the Evolution Chamber started super quickly, and now Spores should be in place pretty quickly. He's got 2 up on the way already. Lair is going to be done soon. The interesting thing we're going to see here is how Major decides to split these forces. Is he going to leave a Banshee at one base and move the rest into another and try and create a decision for HyuN? I know that Day 9 and several other casters have reiterated before, every time you make your opponent make a choice, that presents an opportunity for them to make the wrong one, and it's how you get advantages in this game, is by forcing choices on your opponent.
Well, this Banshee swinging through now already has 8 kills to its credit, and how many workers has he killed? 5 so far, so it's mostly Roaches and such that are on the field right now. There's the Overseer finally, and this Banshee is going to take quite a bit of damage. Nice transfusion there to keep at least 2 of the Queens alive. 1 did end up dying. There we go. 1 more Banshee going down, just 1 remaining.
Yep, Overseer already in place means this Banshee might not even escape alive. Oh no, it's down. So has he made any further Banshees?
Let's see. There is still one more.
Okay, so there's one last hope to try and get some kills. It looks like he's just going to save it for now until he can get a better unit composition, just mix it in with the army. It is nice to defend your base with a Banshee when the Roaches can't shoot up, so I don't blame him keeping that at home at all. 2 factories going up at one time here, as well as that armory, so it looks like he's going to start the transition into mech with that Thor option that we saw in the last game, and adding on 2 gas now as well. HyuN just not building any fighting units, just saving up now for that Spire.
Now, there is an element of passivity you need when you go for mech. You just can't, like, aha, here's 5 aliens and 2 siege tanks, go attack.
I did it.
Like you can with bio units, you can drop and things like that. Since they're a little bit more mobile. Oh, nice job of actually getting around the side there. Looks like the Hellions are going to be able to sneak into the 3rd. But I think Major could have been a little bit more aggressive than he has been in the past couple of games. I think he had the opportunity, especially in the last game on Metropolis, to do some pretty significant damage. He is once again going to kill a ton of workers here, though.
He's going to kill all the workers. I mean, that's all he built these Hellions to do, so definitely got some value out of them. The destructible rocks are not down, so he's going to have to book it out of there, but he can loop around since all those fighting units came to respond. Oh, no, 3 drones just caught in no man's land. Oh no, that's a lot of drones. Oh, my goodness. God. He just torched so many drones there. HyuN, you're making me cry here. He does have a lot of Roaches to be able to eventually clean up these Hellions, but 30 drones now killed by Major, and that's basically all from this attack.
Yeah. So the worker count's currently 64 to 45.
Man, he had 94 like a second ago.
He was just like, he just made like 2 entire rounds of nothing but drones. So, but yeah, he had a pretty ridiculous amount to begin with. But HyuN does love playing that high economy style. Now sitting on 4 bases, we'll certainly be able to pull it off. This Banshee's just been sitting overhead the entire time. It's done about 500 points of damage. It'll do a little bit more here before it actually gets cleaned up. There should be Queens starting to transfer over to that eventually, but I guess it looks like he's just going to wait for those 7 mutas to pop up.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not sure how HyuN got dipped under his supply. There must be... Is that a Viking patrolling around there? Yeah, okay. So he's clearing down on HyuN's Overlord coverage. That's going to make some way for drops in the near future here as well. And he's running around the side here with something. Oh, just the Hellions again.
Just those again.
Just those Hellions. So, but there are 2 queens here able to defend. There's several roaches as well. So, oh, I like that. The hatch actually forcing them to go through to the roaches and not actually killing any drones at all. So, good job, HyuN, on that sort of little sim city that he had going there.
400 resources lost.
400 Reese's?
There. Yes.
No!
Chocolate peanut butter, you're my friend. Well, this Viking certainly was doing a pretty good job of zoning out those Mutalisks for a while. And the Mutalisks get in there. They do kill 1 Viking, but already 3 Mutalisks have fallen. 2 more getting very, very low. Once again, they haven't done too much damage themselves. So not the best follow-up from HyuN, or not the most effective one, I guess I should say. But we're in a kind of familiar situation where he's basically just kind of taking the map and pinning his opponent down. And we see once again Ventral Sax is being researched. Pneumatized Carapace is already done. So we're going to see that strong drop play again here in a bit.
Oh, and the Changelings not being killed by the Hellion.
No.
They will live forever. So the scouting barracks not really doing much scouting at the moment. He's scouting a lot of nothing. Nice ling position there from HyuN, keeping MajOr from being able to land that. What is it? Only the third base?
Yeah, that's it.
That just sounds wrong, but no, that's only the 3rd base here 15 minutes in.
Which is funny because like a year and a half ago we'd have been like, 3rd base? Are you kidding me?
Why?
This is the longest game ever.
Yeah, I mean, I know about conservative 1-base play, but 3? That's ridiculous. So was that a PDD drop again? No, I thought I saw some lasers, but he hasn't actually built a Raven yet this game. No.
Not yet.
A couple of Thors are out, but these Mutas, again, just have the luxury of mobility. They can just bounce around, and if these Vikings are the only things they have to kill off, then they're just going to have a wonderful time bouncing between the main and the natural. There's no turrets in the main. How did that happen?
And looks like they're just hastily being put up in the 3rd right now. The Thors do have 1,000,000 range from the Javelin missiles, but they still have to walk around the side, unfortunately.
And speaking of Javelin, the Olympics wrapped up not too long ago, and I didn't see any Thors there.
No, unfortunately not. Sad, as they would have been a strong contender, I think.
That's right. But no, they're bad. They did not win gold for Terran.
No.
Vikings
also known
again.
as Team USA.
Vikings again just being picked off freely by these Mutalisks. The Thors just don't know where to wander over to at this point. And wow, when did that happen? HyuN showing up with an extremely large force of roaches. So the Thors are being tied up by the Mutalisks. These tanks are getting killed off so quickly. I have a bad feeling about this for Mr. MajOr at this point. There's that Roach Concave, 2 shots, killing the Thor, and now Hellions, and Hellions are not good at picking off Mutalisks or that number of roaches. So this 3rd base is pretty much forfeit. I don't know what he's going to be able to do there. He does have a couple of tanks still standing at the natural, so the roaches might not be able to bust in so easily. And there are those Hellions heading down into the 4th base of HyuN. Going to be able to pick off some drones. It looks. Oh no! Oh no!
Does get a few there, but that's a good bit of damage. It's not all the damage he needs right now. He needs much more than that. So Mutas running to absorb a couple of the Thor shots at first. Nice little position with the supply depots, but still. Vast majority of these mech units all going to die.
The Roach is running face first in that tank line. That's actually just the best way to do it. It sounds terrible. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of tanks. Run right at them. But that's really all you need to do. And I'm waiting for the G followed by a G at this point. All these supply depots going down. The Hellions tried to make it interesting, but there's a GG from MajOr.